the new rise in mental health issues among younger generations is something to be pretty concerned about. And I think one of the most significant contributing factors is a lack of purpose and meaning in life, especially amongst young men. The old script went like this: you get good grades in school, you graduate from university with a high level education, get a good paying job, get married, have kids. This script, this old script, it worked for older generations because they came from different times and different circumstances. Someone who migrated from Sydney from, say, a developing country in the 1960s will have different life experiences, different views on the world, and different goals and objectives compared to someone born in Sydney, say, during the 90s and early 2000s. And it's for this exact reason that the script must be changed. Because what was meaningful and purpose-driven to the person who came from different times and different circumstances, it simply doesn't apply to the person who grows into adulthood today. So let's elaborate on this. Suppose your grandparents came from what was then a poverty-stricken region of the world. In my case, my grandparents came from Lebanon, where poverty was pretty prevalent. War was going on all the time, and times were just brutal. In this case, good grades, education, and a high-paying job were ultimate pinnacle of success. It was more than success. It meant survival and avoidance from entering back into this cycle of struggle. So, good education and a high-paying job are meaningful and purpose-driven for an individual from a background like this. For someone who grows up in Sydney, let's say, with a more privileged upbringing, this script doesn't necessarily apply in the same way it did for the older generations who came from this place of struggle. This is quite evident because this generation is known to be more indecisive with so many options available at our disposal. And it's no wonder why we can't seem to stick to the one thing when we have thousands of other options screaming for our attention. So, for someone born and raised in a privileged environment like Sydney, it's when there was little to no financial hardship, the way that we perceive the world around us is far different compared to those with, more adversity-stricken upbringings. We're encouraged to go through the motions according to the same scripts used by our elders, yet many of us get to the finish line only to be left feeling empty, unaccomplished, and unfulfilled. And why is this? Because what works for one group or generation of people may not work for another. And it's quite evident that the old script no longer applies to us because we have grown up in privileged environments during times of financial and material prosperity and abundance. So we don't necessarily find purpose and meaning in fancy degrees and high-paying jobs. Of course, those things are great, but they have proven to be quite insufficient. We have the backing and support left over from the hard work of our more senior family members, that other generation, because we aren't making decisions based on our struggle for survival like the older generations had to. Does that mean we don't care about success? No. Everyone wants to achieve some level of success in their lifetime. It's just that we now need a new way of obtaining that success, of finding that fulfillment and meaning in our careers and our lives. So the question is then, how can we flip the script and forge a new path that serves us better? And I say it's by choosing to engage in things that light you up, by choosing to study or work in fields that we are genuinely interested in, intrinsically, not in areas that we believe will make us the most money or that sound fancy. Choose a path that genuinely lights you up, engages with your creativity, makes you feel passion and excitement, and makes you feel like you're making a positive contribution to society. This is the new script for finding purpose and meaning in our work and our life.